Portugal wants you. Portugal needs you and wants you. So just know that they are motivated to have people like yourself apply.
Welcome to Crypto Insights, where we teach you about crypto. In this week's video, we'll have an interview with Daniela, who is a visa specialist. So we work together at Crypto Taxes Portugal. So Daniela, could you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Daniela, as Thomas so kindly said. My background is software engineering. And one of the reasons that I was attracted to Portugal was the lenient crypto taxes, as well as the NHR regime. I relocated from Toronto, Canada, where it's not as friendly, let's say it like that. So the prospect of being a digital nomad and living somewhere warmer, and surrounded by a community of people that were interested in blockchain technology was super attractive. And here I am. I'm happy with my choice.
Yes, so for the discussion of this video, we're just going to imagine that I'm a programmer from the US working in crypto and also getting paid in crypto. Personally, I know nothing about programming, but that is just as an example. I'm a programmer, I'm from the US, I work in crypto and get paid in crypto. What is the best, what visas do I have? What options do I have? And what is the visa that best fits me?
Yes, so the visa that I would recommend to you would be the digital nomad visa. And this visa essentially has been designed to attract people like yourself, programmers, that are working for companies remotely and would like to live in Portugal. And essentially, you would need to provide some documents that prove that you are indeed employed at said company. You would need to prove that you're making roughly around 2,800 euros as of this video. It's due to change. And then you would also need to put around 8,000 euros in a bank account in Portugal. And why that dollar amount? Because that is what the Portuguese minimum wage per year would be. So you're essentially showing the immigration and the government that you are financially comfortable enough to live in Portugal. And if you were to perhaps lose your job, that you would still be okay.
Okay, makes sense. And could I apply for this visa while I'm already living in Portugal? Like, can I be on holidays here, deciding not to leave and just wait in Portugal for the visa application?
So it would be the first step. The visa is the first step in that process towards an NHR and permanent residency. So as it sounds, it's a visa. It's not immediately residency. The visa allows you to come to Portugal for a window of 4 months or as long as it takes. And then during that time, you need to apply for residency. And that is awarded the first time, it's 2 years. And then you can renew, and then it would be 5 years, and then you would qualify for citizenship if you so choose.
Okay, and did I understood it correctly that you say that the process will take up to 4 months, or is that an average? What would you say? What is the minimum? What is the maximum? Because I guess it also depends on the country where you're applying from, right?
Actually, no. So it's not so much about the country you're applying from, but rather locally inside Portugal. CEF is the agency that handles all these applications. They're, quite overwhelmed, honestly. Portugal's blown up and the word is out and things have slowed down, I'd have to say. So 4 months was the estimate of time that it would take to process this. Unfortunately, over the past couple of months, we've seen that it's been taking longer. With that said, the government has forgiven all people who have overstayed visas. So because it's not their fault, So if you flew to Portugal in hopes of completing the process and it's taking 5 months instead of 4, they're not going to penalize you for that.
Okay, clear. And so I decide to come to Portugal. What documentation would you request from me? What are documentation that I can prepare already before I even move to Portugal?
Yeah, so you would need to purchase health insurance that covers you in Portugal for a year. That's quite important. Obtaining the NIF number is also extremely important. And you need to have an open bank account in Portugal in order to transfer those funds to.
Yes.
And in order to have the bank account, you have to have the NIF number. So really and truly, numero uno is the NIF number. I would also request from the company that you're working for, your job contract that says that Thomas Mass works at this company for X amount of time, and he makes X amount of dollars per month, or let's say it's a token or it's a stable coin, something like that. So you need a job contract. You also need a booking.
Sorry, so the job contract can actually state cryptocurrency. That's fine. That's acceptable.
That's fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's completely acceptable to be earning cryptocurrency. It's recognized, and so yeah, you can absolutely say that you're earning crypto. And also, you would need a place to stay in Portugal for 12-month period. So that could be an Airbnb booking. That could be there are sort of short stay bookings that you can do online if you choose not to come to Portugal first and to see something in person. And you can book that, and you don't exactly have to pay for that upfront, but you need some sort of contract or booking that says that you're going to live at a specific address for 12 months.
Okay, so I'm a little bit confused because you say short stay and Airbnb. I don't think those institutions offer 12-month contract. A 12-month contract is not short stay, I think.
Yeah,
right?
no, you're right. It's not a short stay, but people have used, rather than signing like an official lease, they have used companies that offer you to book online and are more short-term style bookings, and you just request that it's say 12 months.
So it's probably a little bit more expensive than just searching for a local real estate agent that
I personally chose to go down the route of the traditional path of a real estate agent. I knew I wanted to live here. I quite like it here, so I went down the traditional path. But somehow people tend to feel a little bit antsy about committing, so they'd rather book something that they know that they can easily get out of rather than signing an official lease. That's the reasoning for me suggesting that.
Yeah, maybe also the language barrier, because some of the contracts are in fully Portuguese.
Correct.
So with that said, when am I officially a resident? What is really the end procedure of saying like, hey, I'm officially a resident now?
Look, once you arrive and you've booked an appointment with Seth, at that point, you attend the appointment, and that's when you receive your residency in Portugal. And that's for 2 years. The first time.
Okay. So then we actually basically know the whole process. We know what visa I should apply for. We know how long it takes. We know when I become a resident, and we know which documents I need. What is your role as a guider through this residency process? Sorry, this visa application.
Yes, so it all sounds very straightforward, and for the most part it is, but most people are not black and white, and their situations are not black and white. And so really knowing that you fit this exact criteria is a bit difficult. And sometimes case by case, people have specific situations. Like, for example, let's say you're not actually earning 2,800 equivalent euros per month. You're earning a little bit less. Or perhaps your employment situation is a bit ambiguous. You know, people have different situations that are happening. And so I help them to interpret the criteria and to fit themselves into that in order to be fit to apply, you know, rather than being a guessing game. Personally, when I relocated, I chose to do it on my own in the beginning, and it really slowed me down. And I was worried that I didn't fit into the criteria. And so I spent a lot of time and energy stressing when I really should have consulted someone. And only when I consulted someone professional, then I had this sigh of relief and said, oh, okay, so actually I'm fine. And having that weight taken off of me made the process much easier. So I am guiding you through the process. I'm certifying all of your documents to ensure that they are accurate and what is required. We're going through a checklist. And I'm also booking appointments and communicating with the necessary offices in order to facilitate this process.
So as you stated, actually, you yourself, you went through the process yourself and you got stuck in limbo.
I did. I did. I really did. You know, it seems straightforward enough. And I felt, okay, you know what? I can figure out systems and protocols and I can figure out codes. I can figure this out as well. The truth is, it's a little bit different when it's your personal information and your personal life that's being judged in a way, and your finances. And there were certain things that I just wasn't sure fit the criteria, and I was worried about the language barrier.
Okay, makes sense. Do you have any final tips for the viewers?
Yeah, I would say not to worry about not exactly fitting the criteria. The law is not black and white, like I said earlier. It's gray, and Portugal wants you. Portugal needs you and wants you. So just know that they are motivated to have people like yourself apply. And so I say, if you're curious, give us a call. That's my tip.
Sorry, and then actually a final question. So you stated that the law is gray. What as a programmer, I'm earning 2,500 instead of 2,800. You're saying there is still a way to apply.
Yes, there's still a way to apply, but you would have to sort of show ability to be stable, financially stable in other ways, to sort of pad, you know, to say, well, okay, I'm making up for it in another way.
Okay, well, sounds clear. I guess that's the end of this video. I hope our viewers really liked it. I definitely personally also learned from you, because you are really the visa specialist. I'm more focused on taxes, and I hope if there's any updates that we can just also do a update video. What do you think?
Sure. Well, things are constantly changing, right? So I imagine there will definitely be an opportunity for an update.
So then I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.
You, Thomas.